Learning from the Greek tragedy, I'm Lilley with TheRebel.Media. In Greece, they reacted to the new austerity plan, the bailout, by rioting. They're upset they can't afford to keep living the high life. After years of living past their means, Greece has spent the last several years dealing with the humiliation of asking for bailouts and being told by foreign countries, their lenders, that they need to cut this or cut that. Of course, they could have walked away from it all, left the Eurozone, gone back to their own currency, the drachma, and watched that currency value collapse alongside their economy. They chose not to go that route. Instead, they took another bailout. They agreed to more humiliation. Now, what does this have to do with Canada? Well, plenty. It could be our future down the road if we're not careful. See, Greek voters wanted their government to give them everything, except they didn't want to pay for it. They wanted free schooling, including university. They wanted early retirement, lavish social programs, and to not pay taxes. That doesn't work, and Greece racked up debts, big-time debts. In October, Canadians will get a choice. Who do they want to govern this country after the 2015 election? There are three real contenders, and two of them are happy to take us down the road that Greece is on. Despite occasionally sniping at the Harper Conservatives over the size of the debt or deficit, the truth is the New Democrats and Liberals both love deficit spending. Don't let them tell you any differently. Remember, it was the Liberals and the NDP that decided to join with the separatist Bloc Québécois in late 2008 to try and bring down the Conservatives, partly because they refused to do stimulus spending and push Canada into deficit as a way to deal with the looming recession. When the Conservatives did begin stimulus spending, these parties said, "It's not enough. You've got to do more." And then when the recession was over and the Conservatives turned off the stimulus taps, the NDP and the Liberals, they howled with outrage. So they're just fine with deficit spending. In fact, they demand it. Most days' question period can be summed up as, "Why won't the government spend more money?" And then you insert the latest cause du jour, right? Well, if the NDP or the Liberals win in October, if Mulcair or Trudeau take up residence at 24 Sussex Drive, then the government will spend more and more and more and more. And that means they'll reach into your pocket more and more and more. From the 45-day work year to national daycare, a national drug plan, increased corporate welfare, Canadian tax dollars will be flying out of Ottawa faster than they can be collected, which means deficit spending. Do you know the two main parties both support the 45-day work year? They've both called for the employment insurance qualification period to be shrunk to 360 hours and the amount of time you get paid to be extended. That works out to 45 days of full-time work, and in return, you'd get 52 weeks of EI. Now, most Canadians actually want to work, but the lazy among us would sop this up, meaning the rest of us would have to pay extra in our payroll taxes, and so would businesses for those that want to stay on the dole. Then there's the National Daycare Program. NDP leader Tom Mulcair doesn't like governments helping parents raise their kids by cutting taxes or with the universal child care benefit. He wants to do it for you. He wants the government to be co-parent, thus the National Daycare Program, which costs Quebec billions each year for their program. Mulcair wants it to go national. Trudeau and Mulcair have both said they want to raise the CPP premiums. You can't expand the Canada Pension Plan without raising the premiums, unless you want to go into even deeper deficit spending. They would also cancel income splitting, roll back increases to the tax-free savings account system, and suck up more of your money to spend as they see fit. But of course, the problem with socialism is that eventually you do run out of other people's money. Now add all of that to their desire to put a price on carbon, meaning we pay more, to stop oil pipeline construction, to make manufacturing more expensive through regulation, and you've got a recipe for financial disaster known as Canada looking like Greece. It may seem far-fetched, but it isn't. And when you realize that we're paying tens of billions of dollars a year just to service the interest on the debt at a time when interest rates are hit at historic lows, and well, you get the picture. We'll be hurting even more when interest rates go up. In a trade-oriented country like Canada, government cannot control the economy, but they can do a lot to wreck it. And wreck it they will if the Progressives win in October. Let Greece be your warning.